I went into my dark place and I just try to do it on my own. So, whew,
Yeah.
get emotional here.
Hello, gang, and welcome to Investing in Hawaii. My name is Fuzzy Jardine.
And my name is Zasha Smith, aka Invest with Zasha. And we are successful real estate investors here in Hawaii who came from humble beginnings, here to show you how you can build wealth while making an impact. Aloha and welcome to Investing in Hawaii podcast, where we show everyday people how to invest in real estate, build generational wealth, and achieve financial freedom in Hawaii. My name is Zasha Smith.
And I'm Fuzzy Jardine.
And today we have Mark with us.
How you doing? How's everything? How's Hawaii going?
Nice and warm.
Right.
Better than Vegas. It's cold out here right now, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to bring on Mark today. We're in Vegas at WealthCon, and I've known Mark for a while now, and he has a really great story. He's been investing, has had some ups and some downs, and so we wanted to share that with everybody that we know, especially those who are newer to real estate, because I feel like it's important to have these conversations. So, Mark, maybe start with telling us why you got into real estate and kind of what inspired you in your journey.
So I got into real estate. First thing is I was a full-on father, baseball dad, and I wanted to have some freedom to actually coach my son. Back when the market was really hot, I decided to become a father versus a millionaire. That being said, I coached from my son from 8 years old till he was like a sophomore in high school, but I still was able to go ahead and watch his all other games through his high school career. So with real estate, you're able to do this and plan around your time with your family, your kids, and sports and all that good stuff. So that's why I got into real estate, because I was able to buy my time. I'm a little bit older now, so now I jumped into full-time real estate investing, and that's how I met Zasha.
Well, and I think your story is great because you've seen a few markets now and a few cycles, and maybe share with us a little bit of what you're seeing in the current market and maybe some things people should be aware of.
Yeah. So I did experience both. I experienced 2005 and the 2008 crash. I did buy properties in there. I had a cul-de-sac, and I ended up losing them. The market got crashed. The wife had some neck surgeries, so our income went from this much to zero, and we had to make some decisions. Same thing in this market. This market is the second round now. It is rates went up and kind of made the market really not crash. It's just you had to educate on the real estate side. You had to educate your buyers how to buy, because it's always a good time to buy real estate. You just have to have someone to encourage you, walk you through the process, and at the end of the game, you're gonna get value after it. Because if you buy right now, in 6 or 7 months, the rates will drop. You could turn around and refinance, and this market is going to pick up in the next probably end of quarter one in 2024.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so did you, like, when you started, did you, like, sign up with a mentorship, or you watch YouTube videos?
Well, let's do my journey. So
Right.
back in, I have a whole bunch of guys to thank. A good friend of mine, Richard Rodriguez. We were on vacation in Mexico. He does. He's a loan officer. He really does not mix business with friends and family. So he introduced me to a guy named Mark Valdez. He's out in Arkansas now, a big investor, owns mobile home parks, self-storage. I became his assistant in the loan business, and he ended up leaving, and the market crashed in 2008. And in California, you were able to loans under an umbrella. And at that time, I had to make a decision to get a loan license or a real estate license. So I got a real estate license, and I ended up being an assistant to the broker of Mark, which is Tony Nelson. And on the way, I met my buddy Cesar Mendoza. So I was Tony's assistant. Short sales were coming. He was buying them. I'm giving them to him, and I'm like, that dude's making money, man. I'm getting a commission. Like, I got to try to figure this out. So finally, like, hey, man, throw me a bone. And so he gave me a deal. We ended up doing it. He funded it. And I started my little journey.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing that actually helped me really start to grow is anybody getting into this business, you will need a coach. If you do baseball, basketball, any sports, they all have coaches. And without a coach, you're not going to really thrive. And what a coach does is they really help you out to scale your business. When you have downs, ups, downs, and things go on, you can pick up the phone and call them. You know, I know Fuzz used to surf. I'm sure you had someone that taught you how to surf as well.
Yeah.
Through the coaching program, I joined, back then it was Future Flippers, now Wealthy Investor. And I was able to meet Zasha and build this amazing relationship. And she helps me down the way. She's my accountability coach. So anybody knew that you need to get a coach. It's very important, especially in real estate. It's not something you can go out and just, all right, I'm going to make $1 million today. It doesn't work that way, guys.
Right.
Well, and that's why we started the Hui Mastermind,
Right.
Especially being local to Hawaii. I feel like it's totally different market, and California, from California, so I know you feel that as well. But for us, it was really important for people to, one, have that person to reach out to, but two, know what's working in this specific market right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like for me, I knew having, like you said, a surfing coach was important to get me to the level to be able to win competitions, you know. So the coach came in clutch, and the coaches was mostly my uncles that, you know, taught me how to read currents, how to show me to be in the right spot where the wave's gonna break, you know. So it's very important, like I said, to have a coach to get you from, you know, amateur status to pro status. And you know, I think it's super important for anybody or anything you want to learn, get someone that can mentor you or guide you. So
yeah. And the good thing about a coaching program is, like, you run into just a whole bunch of people that want to help, and you become partners and friends with everybody. You know, I met Zasha, and eventually in the next, 12 months we'll probably all do a deal together. We have an accountability group. You know, we had dinner a couple of days ago, and I was like, hey, let's all try to buy a mobile home park. You know, it's really good to have a big room, and you can just talk to everybody, and there's always something that's going to happen with the coach, the mentorship. I know you guys in Hawaii have a pretty good following, so there's a lot of stuff that can help when you guys go to their little mentoring program. You got two great people right there that are on Hawaii and very personable. So I know my coach, I'm with Ryan and Brian and Zasha, it helps me a lot. Even my guy Tony. So
I think too, one of the important things to point out is that, of course, there's the coaches, but there's also the community, like you mentioned, the accountability groups, other people that you can partner with, other opportunities that come up, just being around other like-minded people who are on the same journey with you and want to succeed all together. And I know it's always been a struggle for me, being on a small island, to be able to surround myself by people that are thinking bigger. And that's why essentially I started coming to the mainland to get that. And I feel like we created that and have a good group of people around us. But maybe talk about too, what were some of your like reservations or fears about getting a coach? Because I know not everybody is like ready to go from the start.
Well, everybody has that fear, because when you see that dollar sign at the end, okay, come and join this coaching program. It's this much, and you get sugar shot. But all these people, they have programs that, you could do a payment plan, you could put a program, but don't think of the dollar sign, because when you get one deal, it's going to 10x it.
Yeah, it covers the costs.
When I first joined back in, I think 2021, it was $25,000. That is just, excuse my language, that's a big nut, bro. But I was able to get that back in 1 year. I was able to JV 4 deals, and because I was able to do that before, I was part of a rookie group, and I had flipping experience. They brought me a deal, and I was able to get money from one guy, and it actually, that one deal paid for the whole deal.
Nice.
And then we made some other money. But again, if you don't have a coach, you could lose a lot of money also. I'm not going to lie. And when you get into this field, you have the ups and you have the downs. And I'll get into the downs in a little bit. But that's what I think a coaching program. Don't feel pressure to spend that money. It's going to, you're going to get that money back.
Right. So going into the coaching program, how long was it? Like you said, it took you about a year, but how long was it to be able to was it you JV'd with somebody that was experienced, that was in the program as well, or someone that you knew, from growing up? Or
no, so me being an older person in the group, I'm like the father of everybody in our group. I went to go seek out the younger kids. I'm not good on social media. My education is very, very low. So I struggle reading, writing. I'm like, okay, I need help with getting a little team to do that, post. So I went out and just started seeking some people that I like. Okay, this guy likes sports. He does this. Who was very, outspoken in our Zoom calls. And I was like, okay, I picked a couple guys, and one guy talked about money, and they knew I already flipped some properties. Mm-hmm. So they kind of approached me also. So when I had one, I had no money. I'm like, dude, I got 3 deals going. This is a great deal. And some guy had money. Right. And I was able to negotiate hey, I would negotiate it different too. And I was like, back then, I'm like, I got this deal, man. You have money, talk to him for me, and we'll go 3 ways. Well, I'll do it today. I'll do it totally different today. That's what the coaching helps you out on. Right. So I was able to get that $100 and something thousand, and we made $90,000. Nice. Each got 35. Yeah. On one guy got this for bringing the money. Right. One guy got 30 grand in, I think, 4 months, and I made 30 grand just bringing the deal.
So it sounds like the community that you're part of is huge. You took advantage of the people that were part of that group, and you had the deal. People in the group had the money, and that's kind of something similar to what I did in the beginning. I did take a lot less, but it didn't matter to me. I wanted to learn the whole process of the brand new builds from the developer that I met up with, but because I was part of the group that had money, and the developer didn't have the money, I put 2 of them together, and then I was the middle guy, and I made money. Right, I was able to pay for my education as well, and learn the process to take raw land to keys in hands.
Yeah, and I think that's what's good about communities, because you just said you could build. There's some of them might want to eventually get into building in your community, and they come to you. There's some of them might want to learn how to raise private money. They come to you. Mm-hmm. Communities have a lot of different things. There's so much going on right now in real estate now. Development, mobile home parks, SFRs, STRs, mid-timber. So I was talking to my partner Victor on the way up here. They're talking about senior living. I mean, right now there's just so much going on. In California, we're now doing ADUs. Mm-hmm. That's just the next boom in California. So if you don't know it, how to build, I could call Fuzzy. I got this piece of land.
Come to Cali, bro.
So I got this piece, and he could lead me to the right direction in a development area. But all these communities have so many people in there that do all different things, from taxes, from like I said, raising private money. So community is good, and I think you guys in Hawaii have a really good community that just came to our wealthy investors. I mean, you guys roll deep. And now you guys have 2 on the island that are actually giving back to you guys. So you guys are in royalty, guys. You guys have 2 top people that know what they're doing and have a good following. That if something doesn't pan out, they're a phone call away of calling somebody else.
Right. Well, and I like that you shared about your first deal. You made all this money. Maybe let's dive into deals more recently, because I've been telling people, I started in 2019 and I made $100,000 off my first deal. But ever since that was probably one of my best deals. Ever since then, every year the market is changing. So what I would have done in 2019 is way different than I'm doing in, now 2024. So maybe share with us how this past year has been for you, maybe some challenges and struggles that could help, a new person starting out.
So we'll dig in deep. So 2021 was good going into 2022. I did hit 7 figures, and we had some rental properties. I had a whole bunch of flips. And one thing I did before, and I'm going to bring up a little bit of faith. I was faithful. I tithed, I prayed, went to church, and when I got an award, I was like, I can't be a fluke. I want to make sure I do that again. And I went full in, and I lost total faith. I thought about the money. Guys, the money will come. Don't even think about the money. I thought about the money. I wanted to have, 6 figures in my bank. I wanted to make another 7 figures on paper to get another award, and I lost my base. I lost my ground. I lost the faith. I lost tithing. I didn't pray. I just went ahead and just did it. And the crazy part is, the Lord gave me signs. I just chose not to listen to them. I had coaching. I paid for it. My coach said, hey, we're going to do something a little bit different. That was a sign. For you newbies, when you guys do a hard money loan, so you're going to buy a property, you're going to get a hard money loan, you're going to find somebody to fund it, which is called private money, and you go out and you get a deposit. I was able to get loans at 10%. But my loans came up to, down payments were now 20%. And that was a sign. And the first thing that you newbies do, if you have a sign, if you're going to do 15% down and they go up to 25, that's probably a sign to back out. Or make a phone call to your coach. Right. Hey, Fuzz, Zash, what do you think? Even though the numbers are right, the hard money people know what's going on.
They win all the time.
They do. So they're giving you a sign, hey, look, back out. And yes, you might have a deposit down, and you're gonna piss off, a wholesaler. Who cares? They'll get over it.
Right.
They're gonna keep your deposit, and guess what? You lose 10 grand. You're not like me, losing, over 300,000. But I lost focus and didn't listen to the signs, so it was a struggle. I didn't use my community. I didn't call Brian, Zasha. I went into my dark place, and I just try to do it on my own. So, whew, getting emotional here.
Right.
But it's very, very important that you learn how to stay away from losses. You're always there's gonna be a loss no matter what, guys. In this business, you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs. But if you get around the right people that help you coach, you'll be able to stay around them. My coaches gave me the signs. I chose not to listen to them. So, but I also didn't talk about, you were talking about being around people. I surrounded myself by myself. And this is the first time back at WealthCon in over a year, and it made a big difference. So if I would have went to one of those conferences we go every quarter, I would have probably been a lot better off, not just being in a dark area. So that was it.
Well, maybe share with us. You said you lost 300,000. That's a huge
chunk.
hit.
Yeah.
Maybe share with us some of the numbers so they can understand like what you bought it at and where do you think that it went wrong.
So I'm a real estate agent, so I know. I look back to 2008, the 5 crash, when it took about 7 months to 8 months before it really broke down. So I had one deal in Westchester, and again, when you do hard money loans, you have a payment. So I had like 5 deals going on. I had about probably $40,000 a month, every month making payments for a property. So on paper, we picked it up for, I think it was $700,000. We had to exit at 1.2, so we had like a $350,000 to $400,000 like profit. And it's all I saw was that number. Didn't care that my deposit went up 10%. It was like, oh, dude, we're making 400 grand. My rehab was going to be about 150. Went up a little bit higher, and then I knew the market was coming prior to buying the property, and it just crashed. And I'm like, oh, you know what? People that are buying $1 million houses, it really doesn't affect them.
Mm-hmm.
But our 400 went into a negative 200, just on one property.
Right.
You know, we got stuck with four of them.
Right.
But and another one up in the IE was, you know, we had about $150,000-$200,000 profit, and we ended up losing about 75.
Right.
Got stuck with credit cards. So if you could really get around people and bring a good deal, you know, and they fund that without credit, you know, my credit cards are like 27%. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's good to use credit because it's going to help you out, you know, and it'll save you money when you have to write the contractor the money. You have to pay for windows, but if you could use credit, utilize it, and, you know, learn how to credit card hack too. I just started learning that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the, I guess it was maybe the third deal, I decided to do my own project, but I asked the developer, hey, like, can you help me like manage this project? And yeah, almost like when we put the roof on, but we didn't put the cap, because we use metal roof, and then, you know, the developer just kind of stopped, and, you know, at that moment, I guess we had some type of argument, because I found out that he was kind of like charging more to me, and then, you know, taking some off the top, and he wasn't honest with what was going on, wasn't clear and transparent, which, you know, all business partners, when you do partner up with somebody, like, everything should be on paper, you know.
Everything has to be written down, you know.
And it was just like, that was a turning point for me, because that's where I learned everything. He stopped doing all work. He told me to go talk to his wife, which she was a real estate agent. She didn't know nothing about construction. So I had to communicate with the general contractor that was on the site and all the different subs. And then, you know, that was one project that I lost about 40K, 45K, but I had 13 credit cards that I used to fund that deal. Because he said it was going to be, you know, like about $100,000 to build the house, I believed him, I trusted him, because we did projects before, but I didn't realize how dishonest he was, you know, going into that one. But I ended up finishing it, and, you know, of course, paid my debts. But, you know, it was a blessing that I had a couple more going on to be able to, you know, cover offset the losses. But yeah, it's just, you know, doing your homework is super important, and having someone that has the experience, or you know, sitting down with you to say, man, maybe take a look again at a different angle, or have more sets of eyes looking at it, so that you don't go down that wrong path. And using credit cards and hard money is expensive.
It's expensive.
And is high risk, right? And if you can find private money, like for me, I'd rather do all my projects with private money, because you're not pressured.
Correct.
Right, as you would with hard money. And I try to teach our students to do, if they can, go out and find the private money. It's better to team up with somebody that has money and go 50-50 split, or take less.
Correct.
Well, give them 60, you take 40, and then, you know, at least that you can form a partnership. If the deal goes well, they're going to invest again.
You know what I like, because you said when you had that contract, and the good thing about coaching is, like, even though you're in big rooms, like, there's still some shady people in there. And when you have a coaching program, you're able to, like, hey, what do you think about this person? Wow, what do you think about this person? And because they might have a good deal, it's not really a good deal. It's them. It's good for them, and then that person coming into it might get burned. So I'm very, like, cautious who I deal with, and has to be part of a circle. And now, like I said, now I'm back into praying about my deals and all that. So
for you, yeah, I feel you too, because I got a couple of projects that I'm into where we use, and it's higher end area. I think the loan from the hard money is like about $830,000, and, you know, the down payment was like 130,000. from private money to fund
So-
the hard money.
So these new students that, he's talking about an $800,000 loan. That's about probably a $7,500 payment a month. So do the math. If you go 10 months, that's $75,000 just straight off. So make sure your numbers are like spot on.
Yeah, and like we don't even have building permits because it's a brand new build. We don't even have building permits, and we're in 4 months. We thought we were going to get the building permits as soon as we signed from the partner that brought the deal to the table, but it didn't happen. But because I know construction really well, I know the process. There's enough juice right now where we're at, but I'm a little scared, but I think I've been through this situation before, and to me it's just a learning lesson for myself and the person who brought the deal to the table, so that going forward, I already knew going in what we needed to do. You always want to do your homework and have everything laid out and know your exit strategy. And my exit strategy was I needed to have building permits before I signed, and that didn't happen. But now I gotta look past that and deal with what the situation I have now to get us to the finish line.
Right, and I think it's important for people to realize too, like we talk about the big numbers, right, and the big wins, but you can start off small. Even if you do, start off wholesaling or make a $5,000 fee if you find a deal and you bring it to an experienced investor. Or even if you, like you said in the beginning too, is you had some construction background, you kind of knew that that's the value add that you brought. There's people here who I'm like, hey, can you film me for a little bit? And they're like, yeah, they're down, So at finding ways to add value where it especially if you don't have any money or you're just starting out, to other experienced investors, can have a huge impact on where your journey leads to as well.
And I think she made a good point. Like, again, everybody has to start somewhere. So if you guys want to learn, like, I would just follow her around with the camera. Like, can I just film you? I mean, and really, that's what people do. Like, people go out and just they'll give free work, but it's really not free work because you're getting educated at the same time. Like, if I follow Fuzzy, I don't know how to really build, but if I could follow him for like, just say a month, I'll be a damn good builder at the end of the time because he knows what's going on.
Right.
So that's what I would do. If you guys are in Hawaii, follow her. Hey, do you need me to drive you to the airport? You need me to drive you around? And just by doing that, you're going to get free education.
Oh, we're going to drop the bombs on you, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. So,
But too, if you're ready to take action, you're ready to make a difference in your life. I feel like I've had different coaches along the way, but that has really helped me to be able to scale and feel comfortable with each new level that we achieve.
Yeah, this business is awesome, even though there's bumps and bruises along the way. But if you can kind of learn from someone that knows what they're doing, I think your success rate is a lot better.
yeah, no, definitely. You're gonna with the coaching program, you're gonna scale. Like it is. You have access to their whole team. I have access to a media team, tax team, putting a business together. You have a whole bunch of stuff with the coaching program.
Okay, well, thank you for talking with us today. And we built such a close relationship and connection, and you're really someone who I do admire and inspired, especially your faith journey. Not only that, how open and honest you are. So if anybody else, watching this wanted to contact you or find you, what's the best way?
You can go to Instagram, Invest with Mark M. Not Invest with Zasha, Invest with Mark M.
Copy?
I did copy you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Or you can just give me a call, 909-225-8555. I'm in California. If you have any questions you need, just call me. I'm an open book. But thanks for having me, guys. Thanks.
Right on, Mark. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Thank you, guys.
So if you like this show and you want to watch more, please like, subscribe, and click that bell and we'll see you on the next show.
All right, follow them, guys.
Yeah.